All right, so today on The Explainer, we're diving deep into a seriously chilling Hindi horror story from the channel Scary Skull. This is a story where a young couple's dreams get completely shattered by something ancient, dark, and truly evil. Let's get right into it. We're going to start right at the peak, the most terrifying moment of the entire story. This is that point of no return, you know? It's when the monster isn't just a shadow or a whisper anymore. It is real, it is in her room, and it is right there on her bed. So how on earth did we get to this point? I mean, what led to that moment of pure terror? Let's rewind the clock just a little bit to see where this nightmare really began. It all kicks off late one night. Natasha's just on the phone with her boyfriend Sahil, talking about their future, about getting married, just a normal, sweet conversation. But they have no idea that something is watching her from the darkness just outside her window.
And this is where things just go from 0 to 100, like, instantly. First, Natasha spots a shadow at her window. When she looks closer, she sees this beautiful woman hanging upside down, hair flowing. It's terrifying. She screams, the figure disappears. But the horror isn't outside anymore. She hears a growl, but it's coming from inside her room. She turns, and there on her bed is that same woman, just devouring her pet cat.
The shock of what she saw. It completely breaks her. Natasha is left in a catatonic state. She's in the hospital, can't speak, can't move, can't even react to anything. She's just trapped inside her own mind with that horrifying memory playing on a loop.
Okay, to really understand just how tragic this is, we need to know who these two people are. This isn't just some random scary story. It's about the complete destruction of a deep, committed love. You have to know what was at stake to feel the full impact.
And this really lays out their whole dynamic. You've got Sahil, who's working so hard to find a good job so he can finally marry the love of his life. He feels like he's not complete without her. And then there's Natasha, who believes their love is the only thing that truly matters. She's his rock, the source of all his strength.
And these were Natasha's words to Sahil on that phone call, just moments before the attack. This one line tells you everything about her devotion. It makes what happens next even more heartbreaking, because her entire focus was on their permanent happiness, which was about to be destroyed forever.
So for 7 straight days, Sahil basically lives at the hospital. He's not eating, he's not sleeping, he just stands there watching Natasha through the ICU window, feeling completely and utterly helpless. And to make things even worse, he has to hide from her dad, who blames him for everything, which just adds this whole other layer of pain.
Okay, so here's where the story takes a really unexpected turn. Right when Sahil is at his absolute lowest, just drowning in despair, a new, very mysterious character walks into the picture.
Sahil is just pacing around the hospital campus one night, totally lost in his own head, when this absolutely stunning woman approaches him. He barely even notices her at first, but she's persistent, and she tells him that she knows exactly what he's going through.
And then she says this to him, offering the one thing in the world he wants to hear, hope. She tells him she's Natasha's doctor. Now this is weird, right? Sahil's been there every single day and has never seen this woman before, but he's so desperate he just clings to her words.
Overwhelmed with this tiny spark of hope, Sahil just thanks her over and over. He tells her he'll owe her his life if she can save Natasha. And then he asks a very simple question. What's your name?
And her answer is a massive red flag. She tells him her name is Chudala. Now, in Hindi folklore, a Chudal is a terrifying, vengeful female demon. So her name is literally demon. But Sahil, he's so blinded by hope, he doesn't even flinch. For him, a name doesn't matter. He just wants his Natasha back.
So this new doctor seems like a miracle, a ray of light in all this darkness. But as we're about to see, that light is just a cruel trick before the final, horrifying act.
A few days pass, and Dr. Chudala finds Sahil with incredible news. Natasha is getting better. She says that for the first time in 15 days, Natasha blinked. Sahil just breaks down, but this time, they're tears of joy. He thinks the nightmare is finally over.
As she's telling him the good news, Chudala says this. Now, on the surface, it almost sounds friendly, right? But coming from her, it's so chilling. It's not an offer to come to a wedding, it's a promise, a threat, that she will always be a part of their lives, whether they like it or not.
And that very night, all that hope is just brutally ripped away. Here's how it happens. First, the CCTV cameras in the ICU suddenly shut off. Then, a terrifying laugh echoes from under Natasha's bed. The entity crawls out, stares down at her, and then just violently yanks the IV line out of her hand. And just like that, Natasha's gone. The recovery was all just a cruel game.
And so, we're left with the devastating aftermath. With Natasha gone, the beautiful love story that was the center of Sahil's whole world is now just incomplete, destroyed.
At the funeral, Sahil is just a shell of a person. He stands there watching Natasha's body on the pyre, and all he wants to do is jump in and join her, just to escape a world that now feels completely empty. And in this moment of total darkness, we get this one final, heartbreaking flashback. He remembers the very first time he ever met Natasha. He was a bike taxi driver, and she was his passenger. These were her first playful words to him. It's this perfect memory of a happy beginning, which makes the horror of the ending feel so much worse.
And that leaves us with this one last question. The whole story is built on this foundation of a really deep and hopeful love. But in the end, that love stood no chance against this supernatural evil that seemed to have no real motive besides just pure destruction. It makes you wonder, was their love the reason for the attack, or was it just caught in the crossfire of some older, darker game?